Jimmy Kimmel is back on the air after a 4-show suspension, but dozens of affiliate stations, they refuse to carry it, and it's all over his false claim that Charlie Kirk's suspected assassin was part of the MAGA gang. That's a line that he didn't apologize for last night.
It was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. For those who think I did point a finger, I get why you're upset. I don't think the murderer who shot Charlie Kirk represents anyone. This was a sick person who believed violence was a solution, and it isn't. Ever. The President of the United States made it very clear he wants to see me and the hundreds of people who work here fired from our jobs. Our leader celebrates Americans losing their livelihoods because he can't take a joke.
So some members of the media giving Kimmel's return a very glowing review.
He showed his humanity and he showed compassion. And even though he didn't say, I apologize, I think he did offer a significant amount of regret. His tone was just perfect.
He doesn't really want this to be about him. He has been thrust into this bigger and frankly more consequential role. He is acting tonight, and I think he will act in the days to come, as a bit of a public servant, as an educator.
I had read that, but hadn't heard it until just now. Jesse, what was your review?
Well, I didn't see it. I read the transcript, and it wasn't really an apology. He did point the finger at us for killing our friend. And so a lawyer wrote it, he read it, and then he just laid it all out for everybody. Is it enough? Maybe. Are the affiliates probably going to come back? Probably. But this guy doesn't have the juice to go to war. He's in third place. He has a staff of 100. What does Greg have? 13?
Wow.
If that.
He's getting paid $15 million a year. He's already probably lost a quarter of his advertisers. And I don't even think Disney's going to renew his contract. He's not good for business. And we all have to remember, this is show business. And this is network show business, where they have the public airwaves, where you have to have standards of conduct, profanity, indecency, news distortions. All of those things are under a regulatory atmosphere that companies like Disney have to navigate so they can make money for shareholders. Because Jimmy Kimmel is not the man. Family Feud, a rerun, tied his rating the other day. It cost nothing. It was a rerun. It was already paid for. So if these affiliates don't want to absorb this mess that they're getting inundated with emails and calls from locals and advertisers in their markets, they shouldn't have to. And this is the market telling Kimmel to just chill. And I don't care whether he keeps his job. I don't care whether he has a show. He has a right to say whatever he wants. He doesn't have a right to a job in network television. And for the liberals that are complaining about censorship, they loved it when they were pressuring the FCC to drop Fox and to investigate Sinclair. They loved it when Joe Biden pressured all the big tech companies to censor us over a joke about Fauci or the Fauci ouchie. So I don't listen to what they have to say. Jessica's probably going to blame Trump, but it was Bob Iger who suspended him and then unsuspended him.
Imagine if the 5 did the Family Feud.
I would love
so
that.
good, and that would rate. In the New York Times today, Bret Stephens is columnist, so he goes through a list. You know how you like lists?
I love them.
It has so many of these stories. I don't know if you saw it, Jessica, but these examples of when the left loved this type of thing, and I'm sure you disagree, so let me give you a chance to argue with us.
I have not seen Bret Stephens's list. I do know that all administrations work with social media companies to take down what they see as, disinformation, misinformation, and that happened, at the peak of COVID when Donald Trump was president. But I think the difference here, and if they're liberals pressuring the FCC, did it actually work? Because that's what we saw happen here. And Brendan Carr is
Sinclair
trying.
didn't get their licenses renewed for a bunch of affiliates.
Okay. Brendan Carr tried to backtrack when he said, I didn't really mean to sound like the mafioso, as Ted Cruz put it, and did the little accent. And as always, Donald Trump comes riding in and makes it clear as day that this was government pressure, posting on Truth Social before Jimmy Kimmel came out, said, I can't believe he has his job back. I think we're going to test ABC out on this. Let's see how we do. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds even more lucrative. In the process, Trump has basically made Kimmel unfireable. At this point, Disney, even if his ratings go down to 3 people watching it, will not be able to do it because now he has become the lightning rod, the symbol, the avatar for this fight about the First Amendment and government overreach. And I think it's important as well that we just saw before we came out here that it looks like Jim Comey is going to be indicted in a few days. Donald Trump on Truth Social. Let's get rid of Eric Siebert because he doesn't want to bring charges. We'll get someone in there who will. And lo and behold, we're going off, checking off our enemies list. It's all part of the same puzzle.
Paul, Kimmel said some nice things about Charlie and Erica Kirk, and I don't know why he couldn't just say, I made a mistake when I suggested the shooter was a Trump supporter. Like, what would that, why would that have disappointed the left?
I mean, isn't that the crux of the argument? I said on the air one time, I misquoted something by 2 percentage points. I said that there were the percentage of long gun murders in the country was less than 3%. It's actually less than 5%. I barely slept, all right? It was on your show, in fact, and I was mortified. This guy came out and said, it wasn't humor. This guy came out and said MAGA did it, and it was just wrong, and he just seems to feel no compunction about it. If nothing else, if you want to get dragged into the politics, we understand it's in your DNA to be hyper left. Fair enough. But you know what? If nothing else, apologize for getting a fact wrong. I mean, again, as Greg would say, read the room. A couple of things real quick. Colbert's show lost about $40 million, right? We've all heard that. Okay. Kimmel is a smaller audience and reportedly earns more if you look at the trade sheets. To the degree, I haven't looked at the guy's tax return, but the degree that you can find it. John Oliver earns upwards of similar money, all right? From what I see, the guy doesn't even break into 7 figures. Seth Meyers, same thing. You go back to even Letterman, all right? I remember when Bill O'Reilly was on Letterman, he treated him appallingly. My question is this: when was it decided on all the major networks, the networks, by the way, that have a government license, when was it decided that they all have to be hyper-left? If you're going to invoke the First Amendment as part of your argument, well, then even the playing field, give us one, you know, because Greg's on cable. So, you know, that's how that had to happen because the networks won't touch him. Mm-hmm. So while I don't like government interference relative to the First Amendment either, because as I always say, there's a reason it's first. It's the most important thing about our system, it really is. Mm-hmm. You know, if that's the case, you can't have it both ways. And I just don't understand when that switch was flipped, that they all have to be far left. And when we say, no, give us one, we're the ones who are trampling on the First Amendment. Those are really flagged.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.